Mm, 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 mm. Hello, everyone. We're gonna watch Howdy, Catman. Hope you're having a good one. Hi. We're gonna see. Apparently, excuse you. I am not 60, you little bingus. The Gen Z aging crisis. That's what we're gonna watch. Anywho, Gen Z's aging crisis. Let's watch the video.
Being 30 in the 80s versus being 30 in 2025. And I just gotta say, as a fellow Gen Zer who looks much younger than my actual age, I gotta concur that this is a thing for certain guys and girls. In fact, I've literally met women in their 30s, guys in their 30s who could pass as 21, 22, 23 without a second thought or anybody thinking otherwise. I mean, I don't know what it is, the food, the water. Someone in the comment section said it's a societal trend where there is more water drinking, abstinence from cigs, drugs, alcohol, and declining testosterone levels. People were better when they smoked cigs and weren't pussies. Would rather look old than a twink. Now, this is an insane comment. Brother really just said he would rather look old than a twink, calling essentially Timothy Chalamet a twink for this generation of people. Yeah, no, man, this guy's got to be being paid by a big pharma and big cigarette to have made this such an abomination of a comment. And apparently, based off of the data I'm seeing in this comment section, you know, the data lines up. The less cigarettes you smoke and alcohol you drink, the more young you look over time in comparison to previous generations. I mean, it makes sense. You're taking more care of your body, less poisons in your body, although a lot more people in Gen Z and millennials as well, they vape, which is literally destroying their lungs. However, on the flip side, although you'll have guys like Timothy Chalamet, he's 29 right now, who literally look like they could be a 20-year-old college student, you'll have guys like this who are, I think he was like 22, 23, 24 here, which is crazy thinking about it, who genuinely look like they could be a mid-30s oil rig worker in the middle of Texas. Like, genuinely, yes, a lot of people in this generation look extremely young for their age, but then you'll have individuals like this who look extremely, respectfully old like this. And considering the fact in the image that we see right here on the screen that all these people are literally Gen Zers, they're all in their early to mid-20s, is just scary, actually. And this was a video that I uploaded about a month ago, as you can see, titled Gen Z is Aging Like Milk, if you guys want to go check that out. But I just want to show you a clip from this section as to show you guys what I was talking about. I'm not entirely sure what's going on, if there's something in the air, in the water, in the food, or all three of the above, but this is getting bad.
What?
And this was an actual plastic surgeon, I believe, some kind of MD related to cosmetics, and he himself was in disbelief. And a lot of this stems from alcohol consumption, cigarettes, not exercising, Botox, cosmetic surgeries that a lot of these younger individuals try to use to get an older, more mystique and elegant look. And then
Dang, rhinoplasty 18 is crazy. Chat, how you guys feel about plastic surgery, by the way? How you guys feel about it? Dang. What if you found out your girl had plastic surgery? Face no. Okay. Face no, but anywhere else. Not too much though. Okay. What is acceptable for you guys? Okay. So, not like Kim K. Okay. Not like Kim K. Okay.
It just backfires. You literally just make yourself look older than you actually are, because a lot of older women are also getting these cosmetic surgeries as well. So when you have a whole bunch of older women who are doing the same things that a lot of younger women are doing as well, you then like you start to blur the lines, and a lot of people just they look the same. Like you can't a 21-year-old looks like she's 30 and a 40-year-old looks like she's 30. They both look like they're the same age, and then it's just like, whoa, you can't even tell anymore, right? But it's bad. It's worse for the younger individuals because it's much harder to look younger for an older person than it is easier for a younger person to look older. Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that doesn't confuse anyone. Mind you, this guy right here is actually 40 years old. Check this out right here.
So I'm almost 40. I'm almost 40 years old. But who cares how old we look? Like, why are we arguing about this? Like,
Guy's just flexing, bro. He knows he looks good for his age. I mean, he looks incredible. I'm not gonna lie. And in the comment section, I usually don't read my comments, but it's funny given the context of this video. Someone said the almost 40-year-old guy looks better than the ones in the beginning, and literally, yeah, he does. But there's this one video I wanted to show you guys titled "Gen Z's Aging Epidemic" by Cole Hastings. It speaks volumes, and I think he made some valid points here.
Can we all agree that beauty standards are absolutely cooked? Dudes will see a picture of Ice Spice without makeup, then call her chopped with a dead rose emoji, not realizing they just exposed themselves as never having stayed the night with a woman before.
Literally, bro. Like, guys, don't do that. Like, respectfully, if you don't realize that women wear makeup and, you know, hair extensions and eyelashes and lipstick and lip gloss and all these little various types of beauty enhancers out in public at this point in time, either you never had a girlfriend, you probably didn't grow up with sisters, or I don't know, like, did you just not see your mom like wake up in the morning and do her makeup routine? Have you not like
one side? Why is one side? I know faces are not symmetrical, but why are? It's not even the way they're tilted. Why are one side like different than the other? So I don't know.
been around women at all? Like, seriously.
What we frequently choose to consume through our eyes and ears drastically affects how we perceive the world and establishes a baseline level of expectations for each of those things. If you grow up in a culture where people say hi to you as you walk by them, it will feel weird when someone doesn't. If you get most of your dopamine from highly stimulating sources, any slow, monotonous task is going to feel painful. And if you
JJ without makeup, I actually don't wear makeup that often. So I should go out a lot without makeup. I don't even care about putting on makeup, to be honest. Like, I put makeup on my bottles though because I know that's like gonna be better contrast with it. But when it's outside, I don't really care about putting on makeup, to be honest. Like, I know it does make a difference though, so I'm not lying. I don't really care about putting on makeup, so. But I do notice there's a difference with how people treat you. Hey, Farron. So, like, you will tend to get more compliments. So, if I don't put on makeup, or honestly just lazy, I mean, it does take more work and it's more time consuming to put makeup on, honestly. So, that's why I just don't even bother. So, it's just like, honestly, it's just gonna be like it's just gonna be easier just to like just go out, do your thing. So
spend most of your time engaging with humans on Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok, where people post how they look 1% of the time, often with filters and touch-ups included, anytime you aren't on those platforms, average or even objectively very attractive people are just going to look okay to you.
And that is a problem, guys. And shout out to Cole Hastings again, because now you're training your brain to have a new higher standard of a baseline. The baseline default of what you see in the real world versus social media is going to be higher because of the content you're consuming. The algorithms are constantly feeding you highly filtered, highly edited, model tier-esque individuals who you rarely see in the real world, if not ever, because a lot of them don't even exist exist. Even models,
What's
they
up,
put on
Dom?
makeup
How you
and they edit their
doing?
photos and they do the most to have the best appearance for social media. But do most people realize that this is mostly fake and fabricated? No. So then people go out into the real world having this new baseline and literally looking at an average person and thinking they're ugly when they're not. They're just a regular looking human being, you know? And this is my problem with the Looksmaxxing space is they're pushing this high ass standard that not all guys can make, man. Like sharp ass jawline, massive muscles, luscious hair and high cheekbones like what's that Superman? Guy who played Superman, Henry Cavill, like brother in Christ. Most people will never look like
Oh my
Henry Cavill.
goodness.
And I gotta say, I think I heard people calling
You know what's crazy? The other Superman, Smallville guy. What am I watching? Just Generations Cooked, I think. I have stuff to do with. Okay. Clark Kent, Smallville. Everyone has been yapping about. They're like, they finally put this on Netflix. Everyone's been talking about that guy. It's just like everyone's like, ooh, that guy is T. He is. They're like, ooh, he's so fine because he has like the perfect jawline and everything. They're like, ooh, he is. It's just like that's crazy. So.
Henry mid as well. I think I saw some girls online or some guys calling Henry mid. This is when you know a society is mentally ill. Like truly, calling a 1 out of 1 million face.
Yeah, I'm streaming later.
It's just diabolical.
No other generation has dealt with this at the scale at which it is.
Yeah, I'm just reacting to some videos to have some content I can edit for reactions for my one channel. I'm streaming later. We're just doing some reaction content. Because my friend wanted me to try some food. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. Yup.
Present today.
I'm trying to be productive. Jay, just being productive.
The pillars of beauty, influencers and celebrities spamming Botox and other injections, are quietly deciding that this is what young people should aspire to look like. And as a result, these treatments have become socially acceptable for people who aren't even old enough to get a tattoo.
Yo, whoa. This says, getting my nose done at 14 was the best decision of my life. Now, I don't think she's actually 14. And
You got this, Dom. You got this. You got this, Dom. Keep at it. Gotta make that cheddar. Make that cheddar. Make that cheddar. And then you gotta sub up to JJ. Sub up to JJ. Let's go. Let's get at it.
this video, I hope not, because she looks old as hell.
That's
for
funny.
14, she would look
Hey,
very old.
Edo. Hi, Edo. Hi. 3 hours. That's crazy. Crazy work. Going back to work. Have fun, Dom. Make a commission. Make them sales. Tell Dom to work his booty cheeks off so he can give JJ the cheddar. What? Abby, what you clipping? Clippy.
Relative to how in real life 14-year-olds look. But then again, I wouldn't be surprised. There are many 14-year-olds out here nowadays doing the most, and then they're getting surgeries out here in Botox who look like they could be in their 20s. And why? It's because of the culture we live in.
This is a big reason we are seeing the sentiment shared that Gen Z is not aging well, especially in regards to women. There are countless examples of women in their late teens and early 20s getting Botox and lip filler to enhance their appearance, either too young to understand the consequences or too young to care.
That is crazy. Let's go back. She said, how I feel since I've been getting Botox every 4 months since 17. And what does she look like? I don't know her age right now, but I'm going to assume she's somewhere between 18 to possibly 21. And ladies and gentlemen, how old does she look? I'm going to be honest. She looks like, I'm going to assume 25, 26, but she could be 4 years younger than that, you know? And I'm being very nice here. I'm being very nice. I just gotta say, she's Gen Z. She's obviously Gen Z, but what she's doing to her face is not going to let her age gracefully. And I think Gen Z is gonna have problems with aging gracefully. They already call you, by the time you're 26, you're unk. Bruh, back in the day, unk was reserved for the balding guy who's like 40, 45 years old with 2 10-year-old nieces and shit, who comes over occasionally to bring them out for ice cream. Now we're calling people in their 20s unk. It's incredible.
Botox comes with a host of side effects, including vision problems, muscle weakness, and even drooping eyelids for weeks after injection.
Is that worth it, guys? Because I know both men and women get Botox to relax the muscles in their faces, to reduce wrinkles and fine lines, and to accentuate the sharpness of specific features. Like, I get it, and I don't care if you do. It has its use cases, but I'm just saying, at a certain age, when you're this young, do you really need Botox at all? Especially if it's gonna risk you getting what is called ptosis. She can't even open up her left eye, bro. At least not fully. Again, we live in a very looks-centered, focused society, and this is not gonna end well. And again, it's only making these people look way older than they actually are. Prime example is Clavicular here. He's only 19, by the way. Guy looks like he's 24, by the way, though. No 19-year-old should be looking like this, respectfully. That's crazy. Honestly, in comparison to Timothy Chalamet, who's 29 right now, Clavicular looks older. Yeah, crazy.
And the thing about these treatments is they don't even necessarily give you the beauty you were striving for. They just make you look older than you actually are. The pressure to look both youthful but mature enough to have a sophisticated look instead of a childish look is certainly something young people feel now more than ever, and it's even spread to guys too in the form of looksmaxxing. We got this Clavicular guy I brought up a couple videos ago promoting Botox, injecting testosterone, and bone smashing to improve your jawline.
I'm so glad he brought up Clavicular. I mean, the guy's going viral for doing just crazy absurd shit. Literally taking a metal object and smashing his cheekbones in order to try and achieve more prominent cheekbones. It's ridiculous.
Not
Chat, do you want to have prominent cheekbones, chat? Do you want to stinking get the best looksmaxxing results, chat? Do you want to look the hottest that you can look, chat? Do you want to be the best that you can be, chat? Like, hey, chat, like, listen, you gotta be a 10 out of 10, chat. Like, listen, if you are, you can probably get any woman. You can probably get any woman. I don't know, chat. I don't know. It sounds pretty irresistible to me. Just like, break your jaw, smash your bones. Crazy work. You're not 10 out of 10. Crazy work.
Familiar with bone smashing, you say? This is a pseudoscientific protocol in which one repeatedly hits their cheekbones with a hard object to create microfractures that are supposed to help them grow back bigger. And that's another thing indicative of youth that the youth clearly wants to get rid of. Chubby cheeks.
I mean, if you want to get rid of chubby cheeks, bro, just go to the gym, get a lower body fat percentage. If you want to get rid of bloat, decrease your overall sodium intake. And in order to combat that, potassium is really good. Potassium is found in coconut water, bananas. What else? I think certain veggies and fruits. Basically, just increase your potassium intake, and I think it should, in exchange, decrease.
I'm not gonna lie, he looked like he's literally bruising. He literally eating gums every single day for crazy. Bro literally looks like he's bruising as we speak, like, because he's doing that. Like, he looks like he's getting natural. We're reacting stuff. He looks like he's getting natural contour for what he's doing. Because of what he's doing. That's crazy. Crazy work, chat.
Or expel the amount of sodium in your body, which then gets rid of that bloat in your face. In conjunction with a lower body fat percentage, it should reveal your facial features better. And that's a healthy way to go about it, instead of smashing your face with a hammer or a metal object. And by the way, because I already know where he's going with this image right here, when you're younger, it's perfectly natural to have more face fat, because that is what makes you more youthful, right? As you increase in age and you get older, you start to lose more face fat and collagen, which then exposes and accentuates more fine lines and wrinkles. It's funny how older people want to have more face fat, younger people want less face fat. Yet again, it proves we all want what we don't have. And that is what is currently destroying us, honestly.
When we're young, fat in the face is evenly distributed, but it has pockets that plump up in places like the forehead and the cheeks. But what's a beauty standard that's considered highly aspirational now? Hollow cheeks. So we have teenagers who watch videos like this, a video that's already gotten 1 million views in 3 weeks, doing gua sha, 1 million different facial treatments, and maybe even Ozempic just to reach a face that was normally reserved for old people. Having more fat in your face actually fills out wrinkles and fine lines, making them less noticeable and making you look younger. So the sad irony is that in the process of pursuing eternal youth, Gen Z ends up looking older than if they were just to let their bodies naturally age, further contributing to their body image issues.
And I just gotta say, he's absolutely right. Guys, please just take care of your bodies, drink water, sleep right, go to the gym, lift weights, run. Actually, focus on your cardio and eat healthy, chicken, fish, avocados are good. I personally try to stay away from raw veggies. Cooked veggies are good. You want to try and stay away from raw veggies though, because we don't have, I believe, the enzymes, gut bacteria, and dual stomach components in order to process raw veggies, which will then increase your oxalate levels in your body. Oxalates then bind to calcium, which we all need for the building of our bones. So if you're eating raw veggies or drinking raw veggies all the time and they're increasing your oxalate levels, which can form kidney stones, by the way, aka calcium oxalate stones. So if you have an issue with that, likely it's caused by raw veggies all the time and lack of water. Aside from that, I just want to say, take care of your body. If you're still young in your 20s, you don't need all this extensive Botox or surgery unless it's medically necessary or you were born with some kind of genetic abnormality or something like that and it'll make you feel more confident. Go for it. But if you're just a regular person and you don't need it, I would advise going the natural route first before touching any of this stuff. But that's just my 2 cents. And yeah, what are your thoughts and opinions down below about? Let me know all your thoughts and opinions down below about this. You guys already know what to do. If you have any other videos or stories or topics you want me to cover, hit the Instagram DMs. And yeah, catch you guys in the next one.
Okay, chat. What do you guys think of the video? What did you guys think of the video? Now let me flip it on to you, chat. Now some of y'all said that you wouldn't want your girl to get face surgery, right? That's crazy, John. Now, would you ever get face surgery? Why or why not? And what surgery would you ever consider? And why would you be so against it? In terms of the face, I don't think I could do the face because the face is the first thing a person can see, right? And like people say, there's already a way to do your face with makeup and stuff. And with makeup, you could always just change your face. I think with surgery, yeah, you could change your face, but it's so much more money in that way. It's just bro, I don't know. I guess with it, when it comes, the spicy wings were crazy. I think with the terms of with the way of plastic surgery is also when it comes to with so much health problems I have, my doctors kept trying to force me to do Botox for my migraines. And yeah, it might whatever situation, oh well, it's for Botox. I was just I do not want to have needles in my head that could cause all this problem just to help my migraines. I don't need it. About my appearance that much that I would want to change it. Okay. Not even if your wife or significant other was I really want you to change your face. Would you just rather have a conversation about that? What if your wife was really I want to change my face? Do you think it would have too much of a lasting consequence about that? Or you think it would start, let's say you had kids, would you think it would start affecting your kids if that can do that if she wants? Okay. Mm-hmm. As long as she doesn't do the Michael Jack, that's crazy. I think when it comes to that, I think some people also worry about that affecting their kids. They have too much, and then their kids start feeling super self-conscious about it. Because a lot of people I don't ever plan on having kids, and then they have kids, and then their kids start feeling a lot of self-esteem issues of I have nasal problems right now, Bell. So, and then they're just oh well, yeah, you could just do Botox, or you could just do this, or you could do that. Da, da, da. We would need to discuss it. Yeah. So it's just it's like, well, it's like, it feels like maybe like it was too much of an impulse, and it's like that impulse had to be more discussed prior. I think that's what it is. It's just like, and some people are like, well, it's my body. It's just like, hello, Alistar. It's just like, it's just like, yeah, but like, because it affects like more than just you, it will affect so many other people at the end of the day. It's just like, that's what happens when it comes to like having like kids and X, Y, and Z. If you have a massive, that's crazy. So I don't know. I think it's really more so you really. I think once you have like so many things to think about, you really have to really consider how it is. Because I know a lot of people tend to think about themselves and only themselves, but I think I just have more the mindset that you have to think about how it could potentially ripple. And it's like, I think it's more so when you put it like this, right? If you have to say to your kid, "Oh, love yourself for yourself," and then you're like, your kid's like, "Oh, I hate my nose," for example. Let's say you got nose surgery, right? And you're like, "Oh, I love your nose, right? Your nose is so perfect." Da 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 da. Right? And then your kid later finds out like you got nose surgery, right? It's gonna be like your kid's gonna be so betrayed because it's like you told them the whole time that you love their nose, but you couldn't even live with their nose because you went ahead and got nose surgery themselves. I think that's kind of how it is. It's just like, how can you go ahead and start telling your kid one thing if you couldn't live with yourself with the nose? So it's just like, I think that's kind of how it is. It's like very hard to like be able to put into motions the same teachings you want to teach them, knowing that you yourself went against those teachings. So I know it's kind of hard to explain without hurting people's feelings, but it's kind of like, kind of have to at the same time. I need my wife to have a seriously good reason for change it. If it's affecting her self esteem in some sort, I could be talked around. Yeah. Yeah, like I get it. Yeah. Like I understand. Like I feel like at the end of the day, it's usually a self, because there's usually two reasons to have it, right? It's affecting like your health, like, because I had a friend, right, who had to get a surgery, but it was because he literally had his nose shattered, so he had to get surgery. So they needed to get the surgery to fix up his nostrils so he can breathe. So it's like, yeah, you could tell. Like, let's say it was like, let's say you had to get nose surgery. It's like, well, yeah, okay, I mean, I didn't say all that, but if you say that, like, if you had to explain your kids, it's like, oh, why you had nose surgery? It's like, well, I mean, I broke my nose. I kind of had to refix my nose. So, like, a medical reason would make sense. You could explain your kid with that reasoning. But, like, if you had to explain it, yeah, yeah. Cosmetic, yeah. Cosmetic is going to be a lot harder to like, kind of explain to to like your kid. So yeah, I think that's kind of the gist of it though. So yeah, yeah. That's the tea. That's the tea for from JJ. Anywho, what do you guys think, chat? Let me know in your comments down below. Ciao for now.